Hello, and welcome to the first installment of Quickshots, where I will take a brief look at a game that I am currently playing. Today, I'm going to focus on a game that's barely over a week old, Crystal Dynamics' Tomb Raider, a reboot of the classic franchise. If you've never played a Tomb Raider game, you must be living under a rock. Or you're me. Yeah, I've only ever played 20 minutes of Tomb Raider Underworld. So the whole advertising campaign and everything leading up to it talked about being a survivor. Everything you did was to survive, and basically telling a story of how Lara Croft adapted into the woman who was to be the badass icon from the mid to late 90s. And oh boy, did they deliver. Right from the get-go, you wonder how the hell this very hot bookworm could even wield a gun. The story is all over the trailers. You're looking for Yamatai, a lost civilization comparable to Atlantis. You sail into the Dragon's Triangle, a freak storm destroys your ship, and now you're shipwrecked. Someone comes from behind and knocks out Lara, and when you come to, you're suspended from midair and have to find a way to escape. From here on out, it's a fight for survival, from escaping some near-death experiences, the local scavengers, the wildlife, and even unnatural powers. And it's a gruesome fight for survival. Actually, everything about this game is gruesome, especially the deaths. While later in the game you'll be fighting off enemies like a typical shooter, the first deer you kill is full of remorse, even though you're doing it to survive. And the first person you kill isn't just someone getting gunned down, but there's a fight for survival there as well. One thing this game uses to its advantage is cinematic elements. While the graphics won't blow you away, the visuals are still gorgeous, and you can get absorbed into it easily. Yes, it has a glitch here and there, but no more than any other game you'd pick up these days. Something that works surprisingly well are the Quicktime Events. Yes, I hate these, but they actually work. Very rarely are they cumbersome. It's usually fast and frantic. The gunplay is fun, and your items are all customizable, so that bow that is key to your survival isn't just discarded for a pistol. In fact, the shotgun and assault rifle will be the weapons you may use the least. Unlike a game like Uncharted, you can usually make your way through these enemy hordes with little combat if you're skilled enough with that bow. And let's talk about the elephant in the room while it's here. This game feels a lot like Uncharted in terms of gameplay. In fact, if this were an original IP, you would think this was a complete clone. But let's not forget where Uncharted took its roots from. Yep, it enhanced the formula while making it its own thing. And Tomb Raider 13, it blows Uncharted out of the water. My one small complaint is probably the thing that old school fans will bellyache about the most. The puzzles. More specifically, the lack thereof. There are optional tombs scattered throughout the games, but they're more similar to a bonus room in a Mario game than side dungeons. There are 7 throughout the island, and most of them will last anywhere from 2 to 10 minutes depending on how quickly you can catch on to what you're supposed to do. But nothing that'll stump or challenge you. I guess the other complaint would be the multiplayer, but unless you're going for the Platinum Trophy, it's not something you'll have to force yourself through. It's not bad, and if you were playing some matches with your friends, it would be a good time. But only as an occasional time killer. So, feel free to skip it, and just enjoy the single-player campaign. And trust me, it's worth it. If you're a fan of Uncharted or Tomb Raider, or just third-person shooters, this game is definitely worth your time. As of right now, it's my game of the year, but its only competition is the demos for The Cave, Metal Gear Rising, and DMC. So, if you want to score, I'd give it a 9 out of 10. Very rarely are games worth full price these days, but this is one of the few exceptions. Oh, and I did lie a bit. There is one other game that came out this year that I've played, and it might be an early favorite for worst game of the year. And that game? Well, I'll talk about that game next week.